So making sure the AI respond accurately and perform all tasks fairly is most important thing here. And that's what RLHF can help with by making the artificial intelligence chatbot more helpful and trustworthy. In the upcoming section, we will explore what the RLHF is all about, how it works, and how it's changing the way we talk to artificial intelligence by making it more like talking to a real person. So let's see, why do we need RLHF? Assalamu alaikum everyone, it's a pleasure to have all of you here today. We are going to talk about another amazing and interesting domain of large language model, which is how humans connect with large language models. We will also explore how they are revolutionizing artificial intelligence and natural language processing. If we see generative AI in real world, the human feedback from a variety of cultural perspective in order to work well for all the customers can be achieved with RLHF. So it is the most powerful tool for powerful AI technique. Before we get started, make sure you have an understanding of Python programming, basic NLP knowledge, a basic knowledge of LLM concepts, and a bit expertise in training and fine-tuning models, as well as serving the models. And don't forget about prompt engineering. It's going to be an important. So let's discuss our objective for today's session. We will begin with the dynamic interaction between the human and LLMs. Then we will explore various effects of reinforcement learning from human feedback. And then we will take a closer look at the real world and the cultural perspective that play a big role. We will start by diving into what is RLHF and why it is essential. Then we will see the real world feedback. After this, we will consider the significance of a cultural perspective. Then we will demystify the inner working of RLHF. After this, we will check out how RLHF is transforming the customer interaction. And finally, we will wrap it up with a solid conclusion. So the way people and machine communicate is basically changing a lot because of generative AI. Every day we are seeing new and cool applications powered by this kind of artificial intelligence, but making these applications engaging good for user is quite a challenge. So imagine if these applications give wrong information, or they show favoritism, or just they are not helpful. They could really degrade a company's reputation. So how do we make sure these AI powered things work well? That is the place where reinforcement learning from human feedback come in action. It's like a smart way of teaching artificial intelligence to be better, and that's exactly what we are going to learn about in today's session. So let's start with an example. Let's say there is an AI chatbot which is basically designed for to help the pupils. It will be helping pupils with questions on an online shop. If the chatbot give wrong answers or seem to like some products more than others, customer might not trust it and might get frustrated. So making sure the AI respond accurately and perform all tasks fairly is most important thing here. And that's what RLHF can help with by making the artificial intelligence chatbot more helpful and trustworthy. In the upcoming section, we will explore what the RLHF is all about, how it works, and how it's changing the way we talk to artificial intelligence by making it more like talking to a real person. So let's see, why do we need RLHF? Think of it like a team of experts working together to make artificial intelligence intelligent, to make AI intelligent. They make sure it does not favor certain things. Understand what you mean by asking something, and give you helpful and accurate answers. And not just that, the artificial intelligence can learn and adapt simultaneously, making it even much better at handling challenging questions and making conversations feel real and easy. So there are some common terms like human expertise, bias mitigation, contextual understanding, then customization, quality control, real-time adaptation, handling challenging inputs, improving conversational flow. All these are the challenges that we may face, but we will see how we can tackle these in the coming slides. So let's see first how real world feedback can help in model improvement. Think of artificial intelligence like a trainer that help us to get better at things like writing our art. It learns from the real pupil feedback, just like a trainer listen to us to help us to improve. This help create super smart AI that can do amazing things. So for example, think about a computer making up sentences about products. At the first time the sentence might be okay but not very exciting, but when people read them and say what they like, the computer learn and start making better sentences that grab the people's attention. It's like the computer is learning from its mistakes, just like we learn when someone help us to do things better. So by working together with real peoples, AI become awesome at what it does with the help of human feedback. Let's see the cultural perspective. When you are teaching your artificial intelligence machine or model, it's like making it really smart by giving it lessons to do things right. You need a group of expert who knows a lot of things, a lot about different things. So imagine you are building a robot that help doctors. You want doctors to teach it about medicines, computer peoples to make it work on a computer, and data peoples to make it understand the information. All these experts make the robots super smart in different ways. When they are working together, the robots become amazing at helping doctors and patients. So it's an example, just like a team of experts can teach the robots different things. So it is something like that. Let's see how RLHF get its work done. So here is reinforcement learning involved, which basically which is training a model to make smart choices and each environment to earn reward. In this case, the language model generates some kind of responses, and on the other hand, human reviews get it a thumb up or thumb down. These reviews are like trainer leading the learning process of the model. So with RLHF in action, we are turning up the power of generative AI, different generative AI applications. So AI expert perform their task to make sure the outputs are accurate, unbiased, and talk-centric. And their expertise in handling diverse data, so it really makes a difference. Now let's talk about the power of RLHF in preserving your product identity. So with RLHF, AI expert ensure that your product values and organizational reputation remain consistent across all interaction. So imagine if you have an AI chatbot that could reply to a customer queries with the same warmness and style as your best customer service representative can do. So but it does not stop there. One of the challenge which AI face is bias and toxicity and its output. So imagine a scenario where an innocent customer query ends up with a response that unintentionally biased or even it could be harmful. So RLHF equipped AI model are like ethical filters. They basically train to understand the language, culture, and sensitivities. They act as a guardians, which are basically making sure the responses generated are not only accurate but also free from any biasness or toxicity. Now let's consider an example. uh, Understand some real world example. Consider a multinational company that interact with the customer from all the corner of the globe. So language, culture, preferences vary widely. How RLHF can show its capability here? Let's see how. With its deep expertise in handling large language model, it can handle large data with diverse representation. So RLHF powered AI ensure that every customer, no matter where they are from, should be counted, recognized, and assessed. I will try to make it more clear through another simple example. Think about it. If your AI interaction can seamlessly switch from English to Spanish, or adopt a cultural references, and even understand slangs, it's like having a conversation with a friend who is basically just uh, gets you. So RLHF powered generative AI applications are basically the future of customer interaction. They bridge the gap between the technology and humanity by crafting experiences that are not just functional but meaningful as well. Let's move toward the implementation phase. RLHF is a way to train language model to generate text that is aligned with the human preferences. This is basically done by first training a reward model that can predict how much human will prefer a piece of text. Then language model is fine-tuned using reinforcement learning, where the reward model is used to provide feedback on the generated text. So let's see the pre-training on language model. The first step in RLHF is to pre-train a language model. This can be done using any standard language modeling objectives such as masked language modeling or next token prediction. So we can use any of them. The pre-trained language model should be larger and powerful enough to generate realistic and diverse text. Next, let's see the training training the reward model. So this can be done by collecting a data set of human preferences for text, and this data set can be collected using the crowdsourcing platforms such as Amazon Mechanical Turk, and the reward model is then trained to predict the human preferences in the data set. The next step is to fine tune the language model. Now, once the reward model is trained, the language model can be fine tuned using the reinforcement learning. This is done by generating the text and then using the reward model to provide the feedback on the generated text. Then the language model is here updated to generate the text that is more likely to receive high reward from the reward model. So this is basically the whole process behind this RLHF process, where how we can pre-train model, and then we train the reward model, and then we fine tune the already trained model. So let's move toward the challenges we may face in the training phase. So RLHF is basically a challenging task for several reasons. One challenge is that it is basically difficult to collect a large and diverse data set of human preferences for text. Another challenge is that it is difficult to train a reward model that is accurate and reliable. So finally, it is difficult to fine tune a language model using reinforcement learning, as this can be computationally expensive. Let's see some application of RLHF. Think about if we talk about retail. Here we can use it to create personalized shopping experiences. Then in finance, we can use it to make complex data easier to understand. Then after this, we have example of automotive. Here we can use it to improve the way car interact with the humans. And most common is healthcare, where we can enhance patient communication. The possibilities are endless. There are many other applications than